Hey everybody, it's Erin from Erin Makes, and welcome to Card Making Wednesday. Today we're going to make a really cool interactive card. We're going to do a couple of different versions, a couple of different samples, and it's all about pulling open a little zipper opening and revealing something cool inside. Welcome to the show. So I'm so happy to be here with all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Let me switch real fast. I'm going to show you one of the samples we're going to make, and then I'm going to show you the reveal. So let me just flip the camera around and welcome everybody who is on. We are streaming live from Prickley, Pear Stamps, and also from Erin Makes Facebook and YouTube. So if you have not had a chance to check out either channel, store, all that kind of fun stuff, links are all down below, along with the links for the supplies we're using today. Okay, so let's do flippy. All right, so this is one of the sample cards. The other one, I didn't quite get finished. We'll do it live though. That's the bonus of a live. But this is what I mean by the reveal. It is so cool. So it's this little zipper pull reveal, and I'm gonna show you how to put it all together. But basically, is you like gently pull it back. Look at that. And then it reveals a little something on the inside. My reveal is not going as smooth as I want to. My paper I'm using is not the greatest. I picked the wrong paper, but it was my sample. Pick thicker paper than me, guys. But look at that. Isn't that fun? Look at that. So it just reveals, and it has this really kind of cool little reveal. And you can leave that hanging. You can kind of pull it back. And so there is a die that we're going to be using that shows that really cool reveal. Okay. So this is the first card we're going to make, and let's go ahead and put this together and show you all the bits and pieces that we have to make this card. So all my stuff is on, not there, it's underneath. I've got all my supplies here. Okay, so first step is, let's go ahead and build the base of our card. Now, all the supplies I'm using for this, for the background papers, are actually from my collection, and it is my Happy Fall mini collection. You can find that on my website, but the die we are using is from Prickley Pear Stamps. It is really cool. It's actually 3 separate stamps. This is the die holder, which I absolutely love. So this is the 3 stamps. The other one we're going to use is going to be on here. So you get all 3 of these pull and reveals. We're going to be using different stamps to go with it. And then here's our 2 pieces to help make that element. So let's just build the base of the card to get that done. And the cool thing about using digital papers is this is actually the same paper, but what I did is I made this paper smaller before I printed it, and this one I blew up and made really big. So you can have 2 totally different kinds of looks to the paper from one file just by sizing up or sizing down or cutting out, whatever. So it's kind of cool, but you can find that on my website too. All right, which again, links are down below. Let's put those off to the side. I'm just going to reveal this one in the corner here so we can see what that's all about. So first step, we have our 2 elements. Now we are going to be using the big guy. So there are different sizes of the zipper pulls. So these ones are nice and long, so they can fit across the length of your card. And there's also this little tiny guy, which fits if you're going to have a card that goes this direction. So for this card, the one that I did at the very beginning of there, is that I use this one. This one's got just the straight hitches, and it can go, you can actually use it for a smaller card or for a longer card. It doesn't matter. This little guy, though, only will work for this short card. Or if you just wanted to do like a center pull reveal out of the center of the card, that works too. So we've already used this one. It was on here. And as you can tell, it's got like the little hatch marks right there. Well, maybe. There you go. And so here is this. So it just looks like a little hatch marks. For this one, we're going to use the big guy. I personally like to have my die done first before I stamp. Now, here's my little suggestion to you. When you line this up, first of all, line it up in the center. And notice my paper is not even as long as the die. So if you go shorter than it, it's totally fine. It'll just go to whatever length you cut because there's no end cut. It'll just work for any length as long as it doesn't go too far past that. If that makes any sense. Hopefully that makes sense. When I found cutting it, though, is I like to leave a little bit of an edge right there. And then that's where I'm going to put down my washi tape. So I'm going to place my washi tape just so I can see that little bit of an edge. It just cuts cleaner because I've already cut my paper to size. Now, when I was playing around with all these and making my samples and figuring all this out, what I found is I measured the length of my zipper die, whether that one, or that one. And this one measured to be 1 1/4. So the width of my paper is 1 1/2. I want a quarter size up bigger to give me room on either side for the pull. This one measured to be like 1, so I went 1 1/4. And I think this one also measured to be 1, so I went 1 1/4. So just go a quarter a size bigger than the actual strip of the die when it's flipped over this way, right? So I measured from top to bottom of the die, the widest part, and I went, so but it's like 1 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 1/4 is what I used. Okay, so now that's on there. I'm just going to check the back. I can see a little bit hanging out there, which is exactly what I want. Whoops. Maybe I should put some washi tape on the other side. I got extra washi tape. I'm good. I'm good. There we go. And then now we're going to die cut this. So whatever die cutting machine you have, I love my little mini die cuts because it makes doing card making so much easier. And there's so many people on. Hello, hello, everybody who is on. Just, whoops. I'm like flinging things left and right. I'm having all kinds of fun here today. Recenter this since I decided to like fly my paper across the room. I'm trying to read your comments and work at the same time. It's not working very well. But we got Karen and JW and Dee and Catherine and Donna. Hello, hello. I'm sure there's some more people on. Those are the ones I saw on my screen. So I really want to get a good die cut. So I'm going to pass this through here like 3 times. It's probably overkill, but I want to have a really, really good pull on this. All right, let's move my little die off to the side. All right. There we go. Get all my pieces over here and then gently pull off my washi tape so don't rip my paper. You could use whatever you want to hold it in place. I feel washi tape works just as good as some of the other stuff out there. I've tried some of the other tapes. The mint tape is pretty good. I just ran out. And then I'm going to pull this off gently because I don't want to rip it. Pull it off and then stick it on my die holder. It's great. All right, so this is the side I'm going to pull. Now you could have your pull tab be on this side. You could have your pull tab, like I did with this card, be over here. So it pulls from this direction over. It does a whole lot of stuff. Facebook note sound. Nothing, can't hear it, but read what you're, can everybody else hear me? Let's just do a quick check. My mic is on. It's showing that I have sound coming from my side. I don't have anything turned off. I think all my stuff, is everybody hearing me okay? Let's check my batteries. Everything's looking good on my side. How about you? I know I'm streaming on a few different places, but a few different places. Is there any sound coming from any of the other channels? You can hear me, so YouTube can hear me. That's good. Facebook's been weird lately. It's been changing up some stuff. So maybe it's a thing that you've turned on. Maybe your volume's turned off. I'm not sure, but everybody else can hear me. So I'm not sure. On my end, the sound is working, projecting out. So not sure what to tell you. Sorry about that. Okay. Hello, everybody else has gotten on. Hi, Amanda. Okay, so now that we have, for this particular card, I want to have the pull going on this side. So when I'm stamping this, I want to stamp it so that it comes the right direction. So I'm going to pull out my stamping block. Oh, and heads up, I got these new stickers. I did actually like a little short video or reel on me pulling off the pink stickers and replacing with teal because I love teal. Teal's awesome. And you can get the replacement stickers at Prickley Pear Stamps, which is fantastic. So there are a plethora of different kinds of stamps that go with these zipper pulls. This one's all about happy birthday. We've got flowers, we've got candles, we got a little butterfly. The dragonfly is what I used on this card right here. So this is a little dragonfly and it has a little zippy line. So it's kind of like, oh, you're going to pull towards it. And then the inside you have some reveals. So you really use 2 stamps for these cards. You've got bubbles. You've got lots of words. You even have a couple of pulls to show, oh, I can pull if you want to put a pull label on there. It's really cool. So that's one of the elements you can get. Another set, this one is Celebrating You, Sunshine, Flip-Flops, You Are My Sunshine. And then we've got little kitty paws, bubbles. We got a pull with little flip-flops. We've got a pull with a butterfly, a little balloon. We have just a note with some butterflies. So there's lots of really cool elements to the inside. The one we're using today is going to be Happy Fall. So actually I'm going to pull the Happy Fall. That's what we have on the outside of the card right here. And then, but there's also lots of Halloween-y ones on here. And we're going to also work with the Christmassy one, the snowflakes and the Let It Snow. That's going to be our other card we're going to do. So I'm going to use the Happy Fall with this card. And on the inside, I also pulled Thinking of You because, you know, why not? because you want to have something to reveal on the inside. So I'm going to stick my little zipper pull thing here. And on the outside, this is just a little sticky mat. It almost reminds me of like a Cricut mat in a way, like you would use for, or like a sticky mat for when you're die cutting. But it works great for like these small pieces that I wanted to die cut this first. It's nice and slender. So this mat is actually sticky. So the paper's sticking to it. Still have my magnets here. It just gives me more room to wiggle. Now, if you're looking at my sample, you can see I kind of tucked the happy fall all the way to the right. So that's the same thing because we're going to put the flowers over here on the left. So I want to make sure that we have plenty of space to read the word happy fall on here. All right. I'm just keeping all my other stamps up there, so I'm not losing them while I'm doing them. So all the stamps we're using are going to be just hanging out there, so don't pay attention to the stamps. And then I'm just going to take a really dark ink. This is a dark, dark brown, and stamp that up. Last time I was able to get away with it with just one pass. And then I'm using my Prickley Pear stamp block, which is great to get a really good impression. It's got felt on one side. You can get blue or red. I need to tell her that she needs to get teal, because she's got teal for all these other beautiful colors. It's like, you need to do teal on here too. That'd be awesome. So that was a really good first impression. I love that. The next one is, and I got to be careful when I pull this off, I don't break my zipper, because the zipper is the person who's going to do the card, right? The next one is going to be the inside. So once the zipper is pulled open, and we will do one together. Don't worry about that. We will do one together. So here's that. And I have matched the width of the card, the width of the zipper to be the exact same width as the bottom element. So when it zips up, this is why I had my practice one to show you guys. So when it zips up, you have it underneath, but there's enough room for it to stick on either side, right? So it's all kinds of uses, right? So the other thing is if you don't want to have an element underneath, it could also be stamped on just the background paper. You could also do the zipper, and it could be something you cut on the front. There's many ways. I find having a little panel is just easier to work with versus trying to do the whole front of the card. Because if I screw up, I just have to replace the panel and not all of it. All right, so here is that. Now we're going to replace our stamp, and I'm going to do the thinking of you. And remember, just to line it up, I want to see right where that happy fall is, or the thinking of you. So I want to see happy fall, and I want to line this so it kind of goes right underneath that. So now it gives me, and that glare is like something else here. Sorry about that. If I don't have light, you guys can't see anything, but too much light, it gets a glare on stuff. I can't win for trying. I'm going to use the same dark brown, but it helps if I actually attach it to my lid first. All right, there we go. And then go ahead and stamp that up. How's everybody doing today? We are warming up. Somebody said it's really cold where they're at. And then, but we are like, it's getting warm. Oh, and I did that on the first pass. How fun. Now, it's something a little bit fun because we got the flowers there. And just looking at the flowers in my card or on the background paper, I just pulled a couple of elements of color just to color on here. So I'm just going to add some quick color. There we go. Just a little something, something on here. Oh, I got to do the other leaves. So if you want to add something that's stamped on the inside, you could color. It could be a pattern paper. There's all kinds of, just got to think horizontal. Unless you did the pull, you could also pull upwards if you wanted to. So many fun ways that you can do pulls. No wrong way. And I'm just using some, these are the really inexpensive markers I found on Amazon. They're called Art Beak, and they work great. Just for like little fun coloring. They're not super fancy, but they get the job done. I tell you what, they're really cheap. So I love cheap. I love inexpensive and works well. The best. All right, so let's move that guy up there. Let's go ahead and pull off this. All right. And then let's assemble the card. Let's put the zipper part together. So I normally go with my big tape runner when I'm doing big pieces, but I'm going to use my little tape runner just because I feel like I have a little bit more control. Oh, thank you, Dee. All right, so think about where the die cut is. You can kind of see it through the edge there, right? You only want to add adhesive to the outside spaces. So I'm just going to take a little bit of scratch paper, which I just got a tiny little bit, because I don't want to get adhesive on my desk. I just want to apply it right there on the outside. You could also use foam, and you could pop this up if you didn't want to stick it and be flat. You could definitely do like a foam dot on this or a foam strip. That would be kind of cool. Then you have a raised element that's zipped and that's a zipper pull. You know, there's so many fun ways that you can play around with this. And it really fits with any season. Think of just change up the words I'm using, change up the pattern paper that we're playing with, right? Picture Christmas paper here. You do Christmas themed flowers, Merry Christmas, which there is some Merry Christmas. There's a Happy Holidays. There's a Happy Holidays. There's a gift for you. There's definitely a Merry Christmas. And there's little presents on the inside that you could stamp. So many fun ways to do this. All right, so think about the orientation of how you want to have it zipped. We're going to line up the corners here. Remember, only the edges are glued down. And this is totally something for your recipient to open, and it gives them something kind of cool to play with. Now, again, if you wanted to go in and you wanted to add the little pull, there's on some of them, they even have like a little pull button right there. On the Halloweeny one, which is where the Hello Fall came from, there's a little leaf that says pull, or you could do a little pumpkin. You know, there's all kinds of really beautiful stuff that you can play around with. I feel like my card, you didn't have to do that, but you could totally add a little pull element if you wanted to. Okay, so now this is your whole zipper right here. So all we need to do now is add adhesive, and I'm going to switch back to my big guy. Add adhesive to the entire back side, and we're going to line this up towards the bottom. And I'm going to have it come just off so that way I can get my finger underneath this part right here. It's just coming off. And then lastly, we're going to add the pretty flowers. So I actually grabbed 3 flowers. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. So we're going to play. For this one, I used a big flower. It's the same set. It's a beautiful set. We could do just a singular flower, would look really pretty, or we could do a pair of them. We could do a little pair. I feel like that's too big. Or we could do that. I think one. I think one looks really pretty, just like by itself. I think that was a little too much. I don't know. So let's go with that. Ooh, I like the yellow. Let's go with the yellow. So Prickly Pear has another awesome new thing that just came out. And is that unusual at Misty? Sorry, I'm not trying to see. Somebody just said something. Is that unusual for the Misty? Not sure what you meant. Okay, maybe you'll fill me in, or maybe you guys are just communicating with yourself and I happen to jump in the middle of a conversation that you guys are having over there. Not sure. So Prickly Pear is a really cool new little element, and it is their glue holder. So again, it's a little Prickly Pear. Love the colors, absolutely love it. Oh, you guys are talking about weather. Okay, never mind, sorry. So here we have, you can put your glue upside down. I have mine prepped, so I'm just using a really good adhesive to glue down the flower, and I've left it sitting upside down, so the glue is now activated down the bottom side. So we're just gonna add a little dab of glue, and then we're gonna do the big reveal on the one I already made. There we go, so just a little dab of glue, pop that little flower down, and then I can have this glue ready to go. It fits all different kinds of glue sizes because it's a nice big barrel, and there it's ready, ready, ready. So it's a great little cute glue holder. And look, it matches. See, isn't it adorable? There's also the other, magnetic die holder, and there is the same color in the glue holder that matches. So you could get a matching pair. I like the teal personally. That's my love. I love teal. If you guys haven't figured that out yet. Okay, so there is our finished card. Now, I always get asked, how do you mail these cards? Well, you're going to have to put it into a padded envelope. There's no good way to do these cards without being in a padded envelope. So you're going to have to do that. The other option is hand deliver it. There really is no good way around it because it does have that thicker element. It will not go with a regular envelope through the regular mail. Padded envelope is the way to go. But it's a really special card that you're giving to somebody. So there you go. Okay, so now the big reveal, let's do the one because this one's still drying. So all you're going to do is you're going to pull on the tab right here, and you just pull, and it zips open. I'm going to be really careful here. Just pops. Pop. Kind of catch it right there. There it goes. And then right underneath. And there it is. And if you want to, you could kind of roll this now. And so it has this kind of really cool little rolly effect. And there it is. And that's kind of like your done card, or you can have it hanging out. And then you can always just kind of put a little adhesive if you want to have it. But that's where it pull and reveals. Little zipper, a little pull reveal kind of action. Really fun. And it just kind of hangs there. I actually could have moved the thinking of you a little further over because it's getting caught, but it still gets the point across. I think it still works great. So that is the first card we're going to play with the pull and reveal. This is our little autumn card, our happy fall card. I'll leave this one intact. We're not going to mess with it, but you get the idea. It just goes whoop right there. Really fun. Okay, so that's our first one. Let's put that off to the side. Our second one I didn't get fully done with, so we're going to finish it. We're actually going to finish the pull and reveal part together. All right, so we have, and there's one more piece. Oh, I think I dropped it. We'll cut a new one. So, oh no, it's right here. It's already ready to go. So I am using the smaller pull set right here. So here's the smaller pull. And then see, this is the exact same size. And we're actually going to mat this onto another color right here. So just giving a little hint of a color so it's not so white. You could totally have pattern paper. You can have all kinds of fun with it. And if you go to the website for Prickley Pear and you put in zipper pull die, there is a ton of inspiration down the bottom below. When you click on the product, down below it, there's a ton of inspiration. I have a direct link to Prickley Pear, but I don't have a direct link to this die. I will do that. Forgot to do that before we went live. Oops, I'll do it right after we're done. Don't worry. But you can go to Prickley Pear, put in zipper pull, it'll take you, or just put in zipper, search, and it's there. But I'll put a direct link after we're done. Okay, so we're going to die cut this first. So remember what I did? I left it just a little bit off the edge. Actually, I think I'm going to move this down a tiny bit because I feel like it doesn't quite have enough. This one's got more of a zigzag pull. This one had like big bubbles. You can kind of see the big bubble that's going on here. This one's more of a zipper pull. And this one, if you notice, I did a different color on the front and a different color on the inside. So you can totally change that around if you want to. You don't have to have the same color front and back. This one I'm doing white on white. Well, kind of white on white. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. Okay. Now we're going to pull this out. There we go. And then we're going to put this down, die cut this out. Denmark. Oh my goodness. We got somebody in the house from Denmark. You guys rock. Here, let's get all that mess out of the way. All right. So there is that. So remember, with the die, you actually get 3 different zipper pulls. Okay. So here is this element. Here we go. And then we're gently going to pull our die off. I didn't go back and forth, but you're going to get the idea. So there we go. Here's our zipper pull. And then we have our background, and then we have our mat. So I'm going to go ahead and pop my zipper onto my die so I don't lose it. Therefore, it's not going to be lost in the masses of things hanging around here. Okay, and now we are going to stamp this. Again, I always like doing the die first because then my stamp will be right in the center. And I went a little bit crooked. I don't know if you guys, oh, you guys probably can't see that. Probably can't see anything because it's really bright, but I went a little bit crooked on my pull. It'll work though. All right, so for this one, we're going to do Let It Snow. We're going to have the Let It Snow. Actually, we're going to do Let It Snow. You could do either way. Maybe I'll do one way. So there's this really, really pretty, it's snowflakes, but this one says Let It Snow. So let's do the Let It Snow one here, right centered. Oops, there we go. Right center right there. So Let It Snow. And of course, I forgot to put I mean, it sticks, but you still need a little bit of help. So I'm going to have to recheck that. Nope. See, I'm off. Totally off. It just gives a little bit, but it's not always enough. I've also been using it a lot, and it's lost a little bit of its sticky. It's this extra little mat in the background. Okay, that's good. Now for the front, I pulled out a really pretty ink. This is the Make Art, which I think is just gorgeous. It's the same one, and it matches with the colors that we're going to do on the card itself. So I don't want to let it snow. You hate snow? I'm sorry. I don't see snow much. Like, we get snow so intermittently that it's just a fun thing for us around here. I mean, I live in Texas. We had crazy ice a couple years ago. That was a blast. Okay, I really need to ink that again. But no, I get it. I'm originally from Canada, so I understand you don't want snow, nothing to do with snow. You can imagine snow, but you don't have to like delve into it too much if you don't want to. Okay, so let's carefully lift this up. We don't want to pull the zipper part. So there's our let it snow. That's our front. And then now we're going to do the snowflakes. And I'm actually going to put this in the center because the snowflakes are going to run the entire length of this. There we go. So we got all those pretty snowflakes and it's going to run down through the edge of the zipper. You could also reverse that. So let's flip these. Let's take the stamp. We're going to do the same color ink. Because it matches and I already have it out. And it's pretty. It's teal. I love teal. Can't go wrong with teal. There we go. And then stamp it again. Use my little stamp block, my Prickly Pear stamp block. I think it depends on how much snow you get on an everyday basis. If you get just whomped with snow, you're going to hate it. I think that's the bottom line. Okay, I want to do one more little thing with this because I feel like it's too white on white. I'm going to take my ink blender and we're just going to do a tiny, just a little hint, same color, just a little hint. This is why this sticky mat's awesome because I don't have to remove it. So now, even though I had white, I'm just adding a tiny bit of some color on that. And I'm sure you guys really can see that with my lights, but there you go. It's just a little bit of color on there just to get it away from the stark white. All right, now it's time to assemble. Card assemblage, go. All right, so remember, we're going to attach, whoa, we have flying pieces. Let's attach this. We have a little bit of an extra element there. Let's go ahead and use our small tape runner. Just a little bit of a mat on this. There we go. We're just going to slide this on. So this is just how to make the zipper pull, and then we'll attach it to the card. I'll make the full card. This is the rest of the card that we're going to put together, but let's put the pull tab and then we'll repeat the whole thing because it takes a couple seconds to kind of understand how to do the pull tab thing. And then I think for the other one, we're going to reverse it and do the let it snow on the inside and the snowflakes on the front, just as grins and giggles. Why not? Remember, only add your adhesive on the outside of the zipper pull. And then if you want to make sure that the pull doesn't completely come off, you have two things. You can put adhesive there, so that way it doesn't pull completely off. Or if you're okay with the person being able to pull it completely clean, then leave it on. It's up to you. And then we're going to line this up just with the snowflake paper so we can still see that pretty mat that's right there. There we go. So there's that element. And then we just need to stick that part down. There we go. And so you can do a big square element. The papers and the little polar bear come from my Polar Buddies collection. It's on my website as well. And so that's where the snowflake paper came from, the polar bear. And we're going to be using it with the other one as well. So it's just really kind of cute. So that's that one. We'll wait to do the reveal in a minute. Let's show you how I put this card together because it's quite fun. So same collection, but we're going to change up the elements a little bit. So another paper pack in my Polar Buddies collection. See the little polar bear? Same cute little polar bear. This is going to be our background, but we're going to use the darker color. I used a hint of that darker color here. So we're going to use that same darker color. Let's go ahead and attach all that. And I was trying to decide, do I want to do the dots? I think I like the dots. This is that really old Bow Bunny paper, and it had dots on one side and color, and just it worked. It was the perfect color match. I think I like the dots. So we're going to use dots for this side. Because why not? So solid cardstock down. So this is just how to build the rest of the card because we already did the zipper. I was going to have the zipper all done and I just ran out of time. But it's more fun to see it live than have it all done for you, right? Okay, so now we got to build the top element of the card. So here is my little cutie penguin. It's going to go in there. And this is another nesting die set that is really cool from Prickly Pear. It's these wavy dies. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dies in the wavy die set. And let's go ahead and cut our penguin, excuse me. So you can see how cool it is because it cuts really neat. I love it. So let's go ahead and trim this up because, oh no, it fits this way. Well, we'll trim a little bit off the top. Sharon's in the house. So this wavy die is so cool because you can get all these really cool layers, but not have to do a ton of cuts. So we're going to do this one together. The other one's already done. Oh, we have 2 that we have to do. Sorry. because I wanted to show you. So here's our first cut. Let's pull it out. Oh, it's stuck in there. There we go. And you guys see how cool it is already? So it cuts that, but it also cuts the outside frame. If you wanted to keep those together, you totally could. Or what we're going to do is we are going to rotate it. So we're going to rotate it with another really cool color. So we're going to do another color that's in the pack, which is the lighter tones that are in here. Okay. So if you've got a pattern paper and you're like, what colors can I use? Well, just take a look at whatever colors are in your pattern papers and then use that as your base. The little die cutting machine I'm using is called the Mini Maker, and it is from Maker's Movement. Little birdie told me they are actually closing up shop. So if you head over to their website, things are going to be on sale here pretty soon. Just as a heads up. All right. I think we're done with all the die cutting now. Okay. So again, it cuts the inside and it also cuts the outside of the frame. So my thought process was, and I'm going to put this back on here. And yeah, you can totally see how all the, like I've got dies on top of dies and they still stick. No problem. It's awesome, awesome. I believe my big die cutting machine is listed to go to the site. If not, I will double check. But yeah, Maker's Movement, and they're about to like close up shop. So it's going to have some pretty big sales coming up soon. So just heads up. But I love their die cut machine. Maybe they'll keep that going. I don't know. All right. So originally you had the two elements, and I always got screwed up. I got to think about how this goes in. So it goes like that. So I need to nest this. And then I went ahead and die cut out for the polar bear card. So I've got a whole other frame I could use for something else that's reverse. So I could save this for something else if I want to, which is what I did with this card. So with this card, I did the dark color and the white. And here I went white, dark color. But for this card, we're going to reverse it. And I'm going to do the dots. So we're going to do the dots. So I'm just lining everything up so I have it correct. And then we're going to do the frame. Got to make sure I have, always get the frame in the right direction because the wave's got to line up. Unless you don't care. If you don't want it to line up perfectly, that's cool too. There we go. So that lines up perfectly. And then I had one more big one. There it is. And then I had one more big one that I die cut out, again, out of that pretty color. So since I did dots there, I think I'm going to do solid on this one. And so that can just go right on top of there. And so it just makes a really cool framed set. So same exact die, just using different colors. Your main focal, your piece is in the center, and it does go smaller. I didn't even use the smallest one. I used the third. There's two even smaller than that. So I used the middle three, basically. I didn't even use the biggest one. So I used these three to make that set. And I didn't even use the outside skinny frame. I kept it nice and big, right? So many options. You can use bits and pieces of it. You could also not even use the frame, and you could just do that, which gives you a whole other option. Or you can pop the frames in and it gives you just even that much more kind of fun, right? And it's okay if it doesn't line up perfectly because they're wavy and they're meant to be all kind of wonky. So no matter how you put it together, it's going to look really cool. Okay, so how do you stick these all together, especially when they're really skinny? There's a couple of ways. The one I personally prefer is my sticker maker. So this is the Create a Sticker. I love this thing. It is phenomenal. And so what I want to make sure is I get everything lined up and everything's set in the right order. So it's not flipped in reverse in all weird directions. I'm going to go with the biggest one first. And all you do is you pop it into here. And I'm going to do a little one so I don't waste all the space. So I'm going to do the two frames. And then you turn the dial. That's it. You turn the dial and it's going to start coming out. Now, because I've turned it and it's not, you can barely see the frame, I'm going to take the little guy. Actually, I'll do the big one. Really save some space. Turn the die and it'll catch. You guys see it catching in there? And it's creating it into a sticker. That's what it says. Create a sticker. It's from Xyron. It's really cool. And you just keep turning the dial. And the only places where the sticker is going to be sticky, and I don't need to do the big one because the big one's big enough that I can use my tape runner, right? So the only places it's not sticky in here. It's only sticky under the paper. That's it. It's really, really cool. All right, so it's a wacky wave die. It is so much fun. I have a blast with it. So I'm going to start building with the big ones first and then add the frames. So I'm going to take this guy here and place it down in the center right there. So build from the bigger pieces. Now I'm going to take the frame and I'm going to go around it. And some people are like, but there's little cobwebs. I'm going to show you a trick. It's really simple. It's really easy. Okay, now we're going to do this big piece. I always say put your big panels down first and then go back and add your frames. It just makes life a little easier. And then go there. And then come in with your last frame. Just be gentle. You don't want to tear it. And I do find that this sticker maker works better than some of the other ones that Erin has because of the way it's set up. It doesn't leave as many little cobwebs. It just works better. And it can fit all kinds. And you can get refill cartridges. And look how fast that was. No muss, no fuss, super, super simple. But if you happen to have, and of course I can't find it right this second. I'm digging around in my stash of stuff and I think I moved it. Oh, should have had it handy and I didn't. You guys should see my desk. I've got candy. I took the mommy tax of candies and I put them in my desk. And so I think I'm having a hard time finding it because all my Snickers and Nerds are covering it up. It's only when I need it. It's not an everyday thing, but it's in here. Anyway, it's a little rubber thing, which it's just buried somewhere. It's a little rubber thing that you go in and you just rub against the edges, but you can also just take your finger and anywhere that's kind of sticky, just rub a little bit. The sticker thingy works better. It's probably buried underneath something and it just pulls off. Your finger works great, but the sticky thing, it sticks to your finger and then you don't have to worry about anything getting mucky. So anyway, yeah, what would we do without Erin? I don't know. You know, it's what it is. So that is our frame element. Now, what if you don't want to do these elements? What if you wanted to do something else? Well, there's so many cute stamps that Prickley Pear has. What if you did a little Santa in there? That would be absolutely adorable. You could do a Santa in here. These little elements would totally fit within the slidey part too, within the zipper. So you could do a Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas. You could have, just tons of fun. So you don't have to do just a printed elements like these. You could definitely go in and add something else here. You could also go in. I had another one to show you guys. Maybe I moved it off. Oh, here we go. You could also come in and use, oops, that ink. Look at all these cute ones. You could do bells. You could do little candy canes. This set right here is called holiday gift tags, which it's tags, but look at all the cutie elements that could fit inside all of those wacky waves dies. Or you could do a Christmas cupcake and you could cut out the cupcake. So this one's got lots of beautiful, fun cupcakes on here and a cutie little cupcake inside that center would look adorable. I think it's so much fun. And there's dies that go with the cupcakes as well. So this particular design, whatever you want to put in the center would totally work for that. So what do we do without it? We would use glue and glue got messy and it would slide and it'd be a pain in the tuchus. So yeah. A little bit more sticker. There we go. Okay, so again, I love my Erin, but super cute design. All we're going to do now is everything's falling on the floor after I place that. So we're going to place that in the center there. So it just becomes a really good focal element. So let's go ahead and pop this on. There we go. Ta-da. Still some sticky left. I can't find it. Now it's going to bug me that I can't find it. I probably put it somewhere in the dumbest place. Like I want, and then I'm going to find it and be like, oh, it was right in front of my face. That is going to bug the bejesus out of me. I know you guys are hearing me like rifling through my desk. It's probably on my other desk because I was using it somewhere else. Or my kids walked off with it. I don't know. Go figure. Okay, so now we have the rest of the card. I also want to put in a little snow glad we're friends. We're going to put that on the inside just as a cutie little something. This is a very teal focused card if you haven't figured that out yet. And all of these elements you get here, these are all from my Polar Buddy set. So all of these elements here, except for the dies, the papers, they're all digital images that you can get on my website. Again, links for everything is down below. Wacky Waves, all that stuff is down there. Okay, so just like on the other one, here we have the same papers. When I die cut from the zipper, so here are the 3 zippers. We used a really, really big zipper on this card, which was pulled. So we already did the pull on this. We used the big, big zipper. Actually, it goes this way, just like that. We used, just as my little original show and tell, we did it's kind of like flat squares, but we had it go from this direction to pull. So that was this guy. And then for this card, we're going to use the, I don't know, pointed triangles, however you want to call it. And it works. This is the shorter one. This one only really works well if you have a narrow card, unless you could work with this one, because remember, we didn't pull this one all the way. So this die would have worked because we're not pulling all the way through across the other side. So it definitely can still work for a longer card. So just decide what kind of outside design you want to have, and that's the one you can use. And if you've got a really big sentiment, there's a wider one as well. So lots of options, lots and lots of options. So let's go ahead and get this set up. Remember, line it up in the center. The width of this die was 1 inch. So I went to 1 1/4 for the width of my piece of paper. So I always think 1/4 of an inch larger than the actual die of the zipper. It gives you that little bit of extra room on the outside once it's pulled. It also gives you room to put your adhesive down. It just works a little bit better. I tried to go smaller and it just frustrated the bejesus out of me. So don't do that. Unless you want to get frustrated, by all means, get frustrated. Your call. All right. Get my washi tape. All my other washi tape got nasty, so we're going to redo it. All right, so place that down. I'm going to do it in a couple spots so it doesn't move around. Packed up a lot of your craft papers to go to Florida. You're going to go to Florida? You're going to move there? Or you snowbird there? I know some people like to go somewhere else. All right, let's move all the stuff out of the way. Let's go ahead and die cut this guy out. And here we go. Wasn't quite done die cutting. Close. You were close. Aren't they cute? I love this little zipper thing. It's so much fun. And I'm just going to go back for grins and giggles. I feel like it's sometimes easier than pulling on the backside just to go back the other way. Yes, snowbird. My parents do too. We're from Canada, so my parents live in Canada. And they come down and they go to Palm Springs, which is really fun. And we've visited them a couple of times there. Right now, my mother is here, though, which is really cool. I think she's sitting outside because it's actually a really pretty day. Add that to my die so I don't lose it. If I stuck it somewhere else on my desk, it'd be insane because there's so much crap on my desk. Bananas. Okay, so on this card, we had the Let It Snow on the front. So we're going to reverse it. We're going to put the snowflakes on the front this time. There's no wrong way to do it. All right, so place this in here. This is that little sticky mat. I'm going to put this kind of in the center, and we're going to add the snowflakes across the center. And then right through here. So it's kind of fun, and I feel like the colors still all match. I feel like I got a little bit of some ink on here, and I don't want to get my paper all schmutzy, so fix that. All right, so there is my snowflakes. Come on. I got to recenter. My back sticky mat is losing its sticky. It's okay. It's still working. Now we're going to add our ink. So if you snowbird in Florida, where do you live the rest of the year? Now I'm curious. Now, oh, there it is. So stamping block makes a world of difference. Let me tell you about getting a really good impression, and the felt makes it glide so easy. Oh my goodness. I need to do one more pass so I have a nice, good stamped image as I stick everything to. Is anybody else traveling for the winter? You live in New York. I just came back from New York. Well, a little while ago, earlier this month, I was in New York City. All right, so carefully, you want to pick this up. I don't want to rip my zipper. See, it's already trying to like pull. You can see it doing that. It's already got some legs on it. So just put that off to the side. Now I'm going to do the other stamp, and I'm going to butt this up just to make sure. Just going to keep everything kind of in here. And I'm going to do the Let It Snow. I'm going to go right in the center. The Let It Snow. There we go. Now I forgot to put my magnets on there. Of course I did that. And now I'm off. There, that's pretty centered. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing that we did before, where we ink blended just so it was a different color. It's okay that the ink blending is a little bit, it's just a hint of it. I'm a little crooked on that, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. I don't know if you guys noticed that it pulled away from the edge right there. So my stamp, let's see if it goes correctly. If not, I'll flip it over. We'll do it again. Yep. Did you guys see what happened? It's okay. If at first don't succeed, try again. Oh, it went through. Okay, I got to recut a new piece of paper. It's really fast. Really, really easy. I know the dimensions, so that's not hard. This is why I like doing everything instead of on like big sheets of paper, because if I screw something up like that, then I can always recut. So it's 1 1/4. It's when I always like to remeasure. So yeah, it's 1 1/4. And it was, oop, I think I'm too short. I'm too short. I got to do it this way. So it's 1 1/4. And then the length of this is exactly 4 inches. So I just went to the length of, I'll show you. Sorry about that. Oopsies happen, right? So the length of my little pull section, I did the length of the inside mat, not the full length of the card, but you can make it whatever length you want. Okay, let's try this again. I think when I was shifting around because I messed it up, probably don't have my stamp in the right spot. We will adjust the stamp, not the paper this time. There we go. There we go. So did everybody have a good Halloween? My kids had a blast. We had so much fun. We are a really big Halloween community here, and we get tons and tons of, actually, I feel like that turned out really well. We get tons and tons of trick-or-treaters, and we're just gonna do a little ink blending. So it's a little bit of color on this, just a little bit of color. But our kids, they have so much fun. It's just like droves and droves of kids that come through. They even had somebody put together a Google map that they shared with the community. And on the map, it had like where the houses were giving out candy, because not everybody celebrates. So we've got to, if you don't have your lights on, don't go to the house. But this was like a map, like a road map to figure all that out. And then they also had it so that if you were giving out like dog treats, they also had it if you were giving out like full-size candy bars, that was marked on the map. They also had it if you were handing out adult beverages. So we have some people in our neighborhood that will hand out like only for the adults, if you're obviously an adult, not just barely. There's Jello shots being passed out, and like beer and like White Claws and all kinds of fun stuff. So just makes it, because you'll see the parents walking around, because everybody's just walking. We really try to do a good job in our neighborhood to like not have cars on the streets, because we have so many kids that are out and about. It just gets to be, you know, a little bit hazardous. So if you're walking, who cares, right? Have fun too. So we got a lot of trick-or-treaters. We always go to like Costco and get the 2 giant, huge things of candy, and it's just insane. All right, so initially I had my mat, and we almost went through all the candy. I think my kids are happy that we didn't go through all of it. So initially I had my mat being really, really big, but then I felt like it ate up too much of my background paper, and I wanted to see the background paper. So there's 2 ways we could do this. Either I could do the mat, or we could just let it be white. I always like the mat. The mat just adds a little something to it, but I felt like I made it too wide. So I'm just going to trim a smidgen off, and I did it for the other card, but I forgot to do it for this one apparently. So initially I made this so the width, just to give you my train of thought, the width of this is 1 1/4, because the width of the die was 1 inch. So I made this 1 1/2, but 1 1/2, I felt like it was just a little too wide. So we're going to drop it down. Instead of being 1 1/2, we're going to go down by 1/8. So instead of dropping it down by 1/4, we're dropping it down by 1/8. So that's half the distance. 1/8 is half of a 4th. So now this is just a teeny weeny little bit of a color right there, right? Depends on what neighborhood. Like we are in a neighborhood that's totally a total bedroom community. So all the kids go out trick-or-treating, and it's a ton of fun. And like the decorations, I feel like Halloween might almost be more than Christmas decorations around here. People go bananas with it. It is insane. Okay, like just the amount of lights and haunted houses, and it's if you've ever seen, which probably most of you have, E.T., and just like the number of kids out trick-or-treating in the movie E.T., that's what our neighborhood is like. That's the easiest way for me to describe it to people. But it's now like added decorations on top of it, just like you would decorate for Christmas, but instead it's Halloween. So you've got spiders and ghosts and like lights and People have got music playing. It's a blast around here. It's really fun. Okay. So remember when you're applying your adhesive, and I'm going to use my little one because I just have a little bit more control, only do the edges. So if you can't really see it, you can do a little bend right there. Okay, so just a little bend and just a tiny, tiny bit on the edges right there. Remember, only do the outside. We don't want to do the inside because then you can't pull it off and do the reveal. And just for grins and giggles, we're going to do, I got to see where the reveal is. There's a little notch right there. So I want to pull from the right side, right to left. So that's where the notch is going. You could go the other way. Totally fine. You could also pull up. You could pull down. So many different ways you can do it. Now we're going to take this entire element and stick it to our background mat and just have that little bit of an extra dark barrier, because part of the reason why I also like it is there's a lot of, even though there's a lot going on in this background paper, there's a lot of white happening. So the white on white, that extra little darkness just adds something to it. So therefore it doesn't completely just fade into the background there. And I could have done the dots, but I chose to do the solids because we've got dots out here. So just change. My pull tab is right there. And then there it is. So there's our two. Same paper line, same design, just changing up some of the colors and changing out the focal point. Super, super simple. Easy peasy, right? So there we go. It depends on where you live and depends on whether or not you like doing Halloween. It's all just in good fun. Great way to get candy. Now I have so much candy. My kids come home and they dump all the candy, well, except for this year. Now they're starting to get like, no, it's mine. But previous years, we've dumped all the candy on the kitchen table and then we've sorted it by like, how many Snickers did we get? How many Reese's? What's the weirdest candy we got? You know, and then we have the ones that are like, if they come home, but we still have trick-or-treaters coming, Twizzlers and what's the one? Butterfingers. Nobody likes those in our family, or we can't eat them because of dietary restrictions. So we put those back in the bowl to send back out to the trick-or-treaters. So we do a replenish to the bowl if we're getting low. So many ways to do that. All right. So that is our adorable little card. You guys tell me, which one should we pull? Should we pull the yellow or should we pull the teal? Polar bear or penguin? Which one should we do the pull reveal? While you guys are loading in your comments, let me show you the other cutie one that we did. So this is using the wider zipper die. And as you can tell, it zipped from the side. And here we go. It pulls right open. On the inside, we have Thinking of You, which is really cute. And if the person gets the card and they want to roll it up and kind of have it as an extra little element, they can do that. So it just kind of tucks in there. Or you could even give them like a little sticky dot. And you can just have it re-stick if you want to, and then they can pull it up. So far we're hearing penguin is the winner. So we're going to go with penguin. So let's do a little pull and reveal on the penguin. So you got to get your finger in there. I just cut my nails, so I have no nails anymore. They're driving me nuts. I'm not a long nail person. All right, so zipper pull. I just want to make sure we got good adhesive and pull, pull, pull. I would say definitely do like one little pull at a time. Don't go too crazy. And I don't want to have it come all the way off. So we're going to end it right about there. And I'm going to roll and see when you have that little bit of shading on the inside, it really makes a difference because you can see it. If it was white, it would be too white on white, which is what this was. Okay, so it's white on white. So if you pulled that off, you'd be like, well, what's the extra? This definitely, when you have another color underneath, even if it's just a light shading, it really makes a big difference, which is what we did on these two. This was just to show at the beginning of the video, but it still works. This is just a very simple card, not a whole lot of fluff to it, just a really pretty pattern paper and just a simple stamp on the front. So with the zippered die, which you can get at Prickley Pear, there are 3 different sizes. We got the big guy, which is what we used here, big rounded kind of bubble looking one, I guess. And then we have the flatter edged one, which is what I used on this one here. So this is a flat and it's nice and long, so it could fit with a card going this way or this way. Same with that one. And this one is like a little zigzag or kind of a triangle looking one. And you can really see that little zigzag pattern right now. You can really see that pattern pop up, which is fun. And this one is narrow, so it fits with the side card. But if you do a card like we did here, where you have the flower and you want to pull, oops, wrong side. You don't have to pull it all the way off, but if you want to pull it completely clean, you could do that as well because it does go all the way to the edge. It depends on the person. So it's up to you. Don't pull like you do envelopes. Yeah, do a nice gentle, because if you try to like, there's a couple things. One, you could rip your paper. Two, depending on how strong your adhesive is or how clean, how fresh your adhesive is, because I just put mine on, doing it nice and slowly does make it a little better, and you get a nice clean pull from it. So just be gentle, you know, just don't be like crazy aggressive. So those are all the different dies for the zipper dies, and then all of the amazing stamps. So we use some fun ones. This one is the Halloween and fall. We use the happy fall in the front, and there's just really cute pumpkins. There's the leaves, and you can also put the little pull. So if I wanted to put like a little pull leaf right here, it reminds you to pull, which is adorable. And there's a little sunflower, obviously all the Halloweeny. There is also, let me get my background element so you guys can see. This one is a generic, kind of like happy, not generic, but it's happy birthday. You got the 2 pull arrows, so it really shows you, do you want to pull this way or that way, or it could be up or down. Got candles and flowers and bubbles, and that's the dragonfly I used on the other card. Just a little dotted line, wonderful sentiments. Oh, happy day, happy birthday to you, congratulations, thinking of you. Really cute one there. There is also the Christmas one. Well, they're all different directions. Lots of really cutie snowmen. Here we have Merry Christmas. We have the presents, the snowflakes. I got to go back again. A gift for you, let it snow, happy holidays. And then a couple of little pull elements off to the side there, which are adorable. And there's one more. I mean, this is the best part. Like you can definitely, if you get the one die, there's lots of stamps. Here we have little footsteps, like if you're going to go out in the sun. So summer cards would work really well. Balloons, little footprints of kitty cats or doggies. A little just a note with some butterflies. Hello, sunshine with the sun, celebrating you. You are my sunshine. And then a few more different pull options here. You got flip-flops, a butterfly, and then a balloon. So you really can have some fun with what you want to use as your pull element. So much fun. And then again, play around with what you want to do. Beautiful pattern papers as your background and a flower. You want to do like digital images like these ones, or some really, really cute images. Prickly Pear has these really, really cute koala bear Santas, which are just adorable, but they have a ton of other really fun stamps that you can get, which I put somewhere, and now I don't know where I put them. So there we go. I had them. I showed them earlier in the video. So, and then don't forget about all the other amazing supplies like the glue holders and the magnet holders. They're all at Prickly Pear. Check out their website. Links are down below. And hopefully you guys can try some of the zipper cards today. It really does have a really kind of a cool, fun, interactive element to it. So when you give it to somebody, it gives them something to like more than just the card. It's the extra thing, which is just like opening a present. So there's tons of fun. And you could even turn it into, versus just here, reveal a sentiment. So many options. Another one could be you pull it open and you've tucked a gift card that you could pull out. So it creates a pocket. Might have to play with that idea another time for like a birthday card. So thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do want to put another little shout out for you guys. Every year I host a couple of different card swaps. The one that is happening this year is currently closed for the Christmas card swap, but Prickly Pear Designs was one of the amazing sponsors. So I just want to give a huge shout out. Everybody who was part of my Christmas card swap, which there was over 100 people, got a card kit, which was really fun. So everybody in that swap will get this fun card kit courtesy of Prickly Pear with a coupon code that they can use on future purchases. So if you are interested in the card swap, you can check out Erin Reed. It's Erin Reed's Cards and Inspiration. It's a Facebook group, but you can also join my newsletter that is over on my website. You can join the newsletter, and I put all that information out. We will be having another card swap in the new year. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys have any questions, I will definitely be coming back and checking these out. I can't comment on the live questions, but I will do my best to try and answer it. And if I missed any, let me know. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you are part of Card Swap, then next week we'll have more cards that we're revealing on my live with Erin Reed Makes next Wednesday on my channels. But definitely go check out Prickly Pear. Tons of really cool products and some new releases coming very, very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And just going to get my little button, my mouse ready. Bye, everybody.